Greetings and salutations, and welcome to another episode of From a Certain Point Askew, the only Star Wars podcast that constantly gives you the good, the bad, and the 60%. I am Jason, the Angry Ginger Jedi Guy. I'm taking the marbles out of my mouth. I'm inside Wookiee Poo Studios with Matt, the Darth Mathias, on the line. And you look a little bit more put together than last time we talked when you were recovering from a long trip.
I was going to say, did I look like shit last time?
You look tired.
I like that you accidentally called it a pause cast, which I think is fitting since we got kitties this week on Bad Batch. I thought that was appropriate.
Yep.
What a time to be a Star Wars podcaster. A lot of stuff.
The content keeps coming. This isn't like 6 months ago where we were milking the freaking teat.
I know. I was just looking at just what's coming up. And it's like, holy shit, for the next 2 months, it is going to be wild. There is a lot of stuff going on. So
we might have to make like several episodes out of May 4th because it's going to be a content dump, I think.
Yeah, between the end of Bad Batch, what we had planned for May the 4th with our stories, Tales of the Empire now, etc. There is a lot of stuff happening over the course of a few days there. But it's exciting. If you'd like to find our show from a certain point askew.com or on Twitter at FACPA Pod, you can email the show facpapod@gmail.com. Just another reminder, we're doing our giveaway, so please engage with the show, send us emails, answer our question of the week, write a review, send us a story for our upcoming FACPA Stories Volume 2. You will earn entries to get some old vintage 80s released Return of the Jedi characters.
They may or may have not been played with.
No, they're very much in the box. It always reminds me of that funny SNL skit where they're like, "Hey, look at this cool stuff, blah blah," and then the kids are like, it's adults with them, and the kids are like, "Let's take it out of the box." And they're like, no, they stay in the box.
It'll lose all its value,
and we put it in the case. They're like, you can look at it. Oh fuck, you have to watch it. I'll send it to you. It's so funny.
I've been a part of that world, though, so I get it.
Oh, man. Good stuff.
I mean, the point is if you engage with us, we're going to engage with you, dear listener.
That's right.
And, it might not be for your health benefits, but you do get toys out of it.
Yeah. I mean, there's some benefit,
Yeah.
You might get some merch, whatever. You'll get some stuff.
We're the show that gives away.
We bribe you to talk to us.
Yeah, we want you to be our friends. We're like that kid that just can't get friends in like 4th grade. So he's always bringing like a bag of candy to school.
Come over to my house. I got sweet toys. Come on.
Yeah, there's that one kid. I was friends with this kid that won like all of the Thundercats from a Burger King giveaway.
Shit.
Yeah, so I was always over there. He was all right, but like I liked him for his toys.
He was all right.
I was like, hey, let me borrow this Lion-O in the big old car.
Yeah.
Come on, let me take this home.
Still have like 3 of those figures.
I remember walking out with like a box and the mom's in the kitchen and she's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
No. And she starts plucking them out of the box. Like I left with an empty box.
The mom sees what's going on.
Yeah. I was like, I think your son's cool. I'm taking these home.
Did you spell quotes around it? I think your son's cool.
Yeah. All right, on the show, besides some Lion-O talk, we've got Question of the Week. It's a marathon, not a sprint. In the news, Tales of the Empire. I'm geeking out about this one. This one blew me away.
Yeah.
Bad Batch, episodes 10, Identity Crisis, and 11, Point of No Return. That's right, Bridget Fonda is back.
Ooh, good call.
Maul Bag, one of them. We know who's already there. We know who's there. And a FACPA Pod answering, whoa, this is another one too, and I know who that is, although I've not heard it yet, so I can't wait to get to the end of the show. Let's get the rocking chair ready.
Nope, it's a different person, but that's okay. That's okay.
I didn't know. All right. First up, Question of the Week.
Question of the Week. Lucasfilm recently, we talked about this last week on the show. Lucasfilm recently announced that they are releasing a Skywalker Saga Marathon episodes 1 through 9 in a row on May the 4th. Are you going to take on this 22-hour mission? What's your plan for survival?
Oh, get me a colostomy bag. I'm going in.
I think that's what you need. Danny Brown said, U.S. only, so we'll be giving it a miss. Aw, I thought it was global. I thought that it was in different markets across the globe, but not just U.S.
That's sad. Yeah. You know what we can do? Hey, Danny, give me a call, FaceTime me, and I will just point the phone at the screen and you can watch it.
It'll be just like a live stream of Star Wars Celebration.
Like, I mean, it's going to be better than watching on your TV.
Next up is my favorite name of the week, Lance A. Shart.
Wow.
And literally the username is the same, Lance A. Shart. Lock that in. I hope that's not your real name, Lance. I'm going, and I'm still looking for the elusive Star Wars branded adult diaper. Otherwise, it's eating and drinking during episode 1, frequent bathroom breaks during episode 2, and then pure focus through episode 6. Episodes 7 through 9 are recent enough to miss if needed. All right, Lance A. Shart has a plan.
He sounds like he's sharting on the sequels.
He's sharting on the sequels, and he's also and Attack of the Clones, and hopefully he's not going to shart in his seat. Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern has no Carson Teva.
Wow.
I think we know who that is.
It's like this El Delphi Ranger came in when Carson Teva, like, you think he like turned on Disney Plus or his kids were watching it and he walked in the room and that was the first character he saw.
Yeah.
So that's what he imprinted on him.
The music hit. Yeah.
To him, the Star Wars is nothing but Carson Teva.
I think it is either that or this is him. It's the actor.
Fair enough.
It's his second account. He's like,
hey,
they'll never believe it.
Yeah, this is burner account where he goes on there and talks shit.
Next up is Chris Villasenor. I like to call him that. Grab the recliner at the cinema, bring a blanket, sneak in your own food, free refills on large soda. You know which parts you can skip to go to the bathroom. That's true. That's so much sitting.
Man, I'm having flashbacks of when I went and saw. I told you last time that I saw the originals, the special editions of Marathon. We went and saw them all. And we filled up a whole row. Well, my cousin, he kept like rubbing the bottom of people's cups until they all of a sudden you'd be in the movie and you'd hear pissing, and their Coke was draining out.
Oh, what a dick!
And then him and his girlfriend were playing a little something. Yeah, it was he was a little rambunctious.
Hide the saber.
Yeah, exactly.
Josh Jefford says, I'm good. I own the real ones on Blu-ray disc. Listening to Room Temperature IQ say how Fandom Menace is good, I would go on a rampage. Now, Josh, a couple things. One, you're being negative here, and that's fine. But it's funny because you're calling it Fandom Menace, which is really the term used for the shitty fans that piss all over everything.
I think that's what he's saying, right?
But isn't he referring to the movie itself?
Yeah, but I think he's just being, isn't he just being a shithead? I'm
to
looking
everybody?
At this like he doesn't like.
Equal opportunity?
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if is he a true Blue fan?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know Josh. This is our first communication.
Josh, are you a listener or are you just tweeting us? If you're a listener and you're hearing this, let us know.
Okay. Next, Max Rebo Experience says, this is an April Fool's fake question of the week, right? If not, I'll need a catheter.
Yeah.
Still suits notwithstanding, and the vest of many snacks. I like the vest of many snacks.
Isn't going there like with a fisherman's vest on?
Yeah.
A lot of pockets.
It reminds me of, God, what year would that have been? I think it was, what year did Ghostbusters 2 come out?
Was that like 89, maybe?
Was it that late? 90? Was there that much of a gap? Yeah, that's probably right. Anyway, I remember going to the theater, or maybe it was the original. Fuck, I don't know. Anyway, I went to the theater with my brother and his friend, and his brother's the brother of the friend who was even older.
Okay.
So the guy who was the oldest was like 6 years older than me, and we all smuggled in beers.
They had you put beers in your pockets?
Oh yeah. So all of us had them. Okay. So we go into the theater, and the guy like checks the 18-year-old or whatever he was, and goes, dude, you can't bring these beers in here, and busts him. We get into the theater, and he's like, Matt, I need those beers.
Well, you weren't going to drink them, right?
I wasn't. No,
okay,
I was a mule.
Say, what were you, 9, 10?
I was, at the time, I was probably like 11.
Okay. Jeez. I'm going to need those beers.
Oh.
He was smart to like use you as his drug mule.
Yeah, exactly. They'll never check the kid.
Right.
Oh, man. Next up, Records of the Republic, Wade. Unfortunately, no, but only because we don't have a viewing area near us. Sorry, we don't have a viewing anywhere near us in North Carolina, but I had full intentions to attend. Well, the road to hell.
There's got to be a theater. What do they got? Like 4 theaters in all of North Carolina that can play Star Wars?
I think they got more than that.
All right.
I'm surprised there's nothing that close. I don't know exactly where he is in North Carolina, but there's got to be something in the vicinity. When I was looking up the theaters of where it is, I was having trouble figuring out exactly all the locations, because a lot of times when they do these things, it's like a dozen places or 20 places or something. So,
or sometimes it's like a chain, a specific chain picks it up.
Right.
Like if it's Regal Cinemas or AMC, and then it's just there. So maybe he just doesn't, he must be like in some podunk town with like a mom and pop shop that's still showing Gremlins for the first run.
But there's a very good chance that he's in a major city in North Carolina, and they're just not playing there. I don't know. I'm not sure. It seems like they're pushing it out pretty. I don't know. They're making awareness of it for not very many theaters showing it. That seems odd. But
Wade, get a hold of your congressman.
Yeah, there you go.
Mhm.
Reach out to your congressman. Hyperspace Hero says, was hoping not to need Depends for another 25 plus years. Well, that's pretty optimistic, don't you think? I know how old you guys are. But might have to pick up a few for this if I was going.
You know what? Why haven't they started this shit? This is a good question, right? Because you go, your kids are, it's been a while since you bought diapers, myself as well, a decade at least, but,
Yeah.
you still see, like, you get the Spider-Man diapers or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like if they started, like, Brandon Depends, like, it wouldn't be, because a man ain't going to buy diapers. A grown man, doesn't matter how, I'll ship my underwear before I buy it. But if I got, like, some cool fucking Depends to wear.
Yeah, like Iron Man. Iron Man Depends.
Fuck, I'd walk around the house in my underwear. Check this out. Kyle's like, Kyle's damn near a decade younger than me. She's still walking around, tits not sagging yet, and I'm in my Depends, pouring a coffee.
Oh, man.
I don't even care.
I just hope that they have the line still. That was my favorite diapers were the ones that had the line, so you could tell right away if they had peed or not. Do you remember that? It had like the line that was yellow and it would turn
So
blue.
hold on. You need the line to know if you peed your pants?
Yes. Or sharted.
You're so numb down there, you don't even know.
Right. A lot of drivel. I'm an old guy. Anyway.
All I can picture is your lady friend walking behind you. Like a mom will do the diaper check.
Yeah.
And sometimes they get a
test.
little too much on the fingers. It's going up the back. You're going to be a mess, Matt.
I mean, have you ever seen the look on people without kids' faces when you do a sniff test on your like young child to see if they went? They're like, "Oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, get over yourself."
This is how it works, man.
There is an expanded answer, I think, coming in a voicemail later from Hyperspace Heroes.
Oh, okay.
Finally, Monica says, it's a little different where I am. My local is only playing 1 through 6, but it's over 3 different dates, May 2nd, 4th, and 5th. I'm wondering why they take the 3rd off. So on the 2nd, they're playing The Phantom Menace. On the 4th, the original trilogy. And on the 5th, Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. And she said, you bet I'll see them all.
This is Mandalorian, right? She lives in Australia?
Is that where she lives?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she is she's fucking super geek.
But yeah, she loves that shit.
Yeah.
But the thing that's amazing, then I got to talking to her about it as going back and forth, and I was like, it would have made a lot more sense to do a trilogy a day. Because then you get people coming back 3 days in a row. They're going to buy more shit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, rather than, I guess I get the novelty of sitting through all of them in a row and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But do 3 straight days of 3, and I think you might have more people. Or maybe they're worried nobody will show up for the sequels. All right, well, that's it for Question of the Week. Thanks, everybody. You all get entries to our giveaway.
Thank you.
On the news front, I was going to mention this to you. There is a ton of stuff coming out about the Acolyte right now, but I thought, why don't we just save that for the preview? Let's just table that, and we can. It'll give us more to talk about for that preview episode we're going to do next month.
All right.
So we'll get into that later because they've got that Empire Magazine stuff and all that.
Yeah.
I liked your approach on that. Well, I'm not going to buy the magazine, so I'll just wait till all the little
the quotes start hitting Twitter. Yeah.
They all leak out eventually. But we're going to talk Tales of the Empire. So, holy shit, this little gem dropped in our lap yesterday, a little surprise trailer. It was funny because I saw an alert come up from, I think it was the Star Wars Newsnet. I get an alert when on Twitter when those post. And it was like, surprise, surprise, look what dropped. And I was like, what the fuck? Wait a minute. And I mean, it was like 10 minutes after it happened. And I went and looked at it, and I just sat there going, holy shit. Later, when I showed it to the consultant, I watched his face while he watched it on my phone, and his mouth was just agape. He was just like...
Well, first of all, it's an intense trailer. Like,
it's very intense.
It almost looks like there's too much story to tell in short stories. Like, there's just what they show on screen. You're like, you can't burn through this in 4 and 7 minutes or whatever.
I think so. I think the first season they said was like 13 to 17 minute episodes, so it's a little longer than you think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were a little bit longer. Still, your point that you raised on Twitter is a good one. God damn, why not just make a whole series out of this?
Yeah.
Maybe they just want to blast it all over your face in one big shot and then be done with it, Because we had speculated about like what might be coming for Tales of the Jedi. Was it another Tales of the Jedi? Was it Tales of the Sith?
Right. Well, I think we'd heard a rumor a few months back that they said they were making like, wasn't there like a Tales of the Empire? There were Tales of the Bounty Hunter. Like there was something that was teased a while back.
There was rumors that there was going to be Tales of the Bounty Hunter. There was also rumors Tales of the Sith.
Right.
And so we didn't know what was coming. I don't remember them saying anything about Tales of the Empire. And I like how they burned it, Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah, just like Bad Batch.
Yeah, right. That was cool.
I got the page up right now. It's the shortest episode looks like it's 13 minutes and the longest is 19. So
perfect. I mean, not perfect, but not as bad as it could be. You know, if they were fucking 4-minute shorts, I'd be very pissed off. Literally just show this huge moment where all these 3 huge characters come on screen. They're
I'll cancel my Disney Plus account. Like that stupid fucking cartoon that came out where Yoda's catching flies, or Grogu.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
Was that like 3 minutes? I was like, what was the point of this?
Well, they got that. They got the one with the Loth cat just sitting there purring.
Like an hour and 7 minutes?
Yeah. Like, come on. I get what you're doing. The 2 main characters of this are Morgan Elsbeth and Barriss Offee.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but my God, they got just a fucking bevy of people showing up. It's like a Dark Side All-Star team.
Right. Yeah. This is like the Clone Wars.
It is. Vader, Thrawn, Grievous, the Grand Inquisitor, some familiar Inquisitors like the Fourth Sister from Kenobi that we saw, Marek from Ahsoka.
Is it the first brother from
I think they call him the first brother. I think you're right, because I was trying to figure out what the hell they called that guy. This was the Inquisitor that was in the last Tales of the Jedi who Ahsoka kills.
Yes.
Yeah, who's voiced by Clancy Brown. So that's the other thing. Think about the voice talent you're getting. You're getting Clancy Brown. You're getting Diane Lee Inosanto as Elsbeth. Mm-hmm. Meredith Salinger is back as Barriss Offee. I can't say names today. Jason Isaacs, because I was worried about it when I first heard the voice of the Grand Inquisitor. I was like, is that Jason Isaacs?
I thought it was the guy from Kenobi at first, but then they put it in, what is it, on StarWars.com. Someone had put it up that they listed the voice talent, and I was like, man, I had to go back and listen to it.
I love his voice as the Inquisitor. Lars Mikkelsen, of course, is Thrawn, a young Thrawn. He's looking very, very fit.
A little bluer, too. Looks like he
He does.
The older you get in the Thrawn race, apparently, you lighten up a little bit.
You do. And I don't know, maybe, I don't know how they're going to do the Vader thing. I don't know if that would be a James Earl Jones or some sort of, AI version of it.
I was going to say, didn't we do like a year or 2 ago? I think he gave like his rights for them to, they can AI his voice, do whatever they want to replicate. Like he'll be Vader for eternity now. Right,
because he did not do the lines for Kenobi. They made those lines. Is that correct?
So. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, amazing stuff. Let's kind of touch on each storyline here. First, let's start with the Morgan Elsbeth. It shows her talking to Thrawn about this alliance that will obviously last for years, because we see it, later on and with Ahsoka.
And he's not a Grand Admiral yet.
No, he's not. He's got a darker uniform, so he looks a little bit different. She talks about, and they show scenes of the what do you want to call it, the massacre on Dathomir or whatever, when the Night Sisters get just slaughtered by Grievous and all of them.
Yeah,
which we saw in the Clone Wars. And so apparently she was there and survived. Mm-hmm. And I mean, some of the scenes that look like flashbacks to her fighting Grievous,
that looks intense,
smoking a bunch of B1 droids and stuff.
Right.
It looks really intense. Like those cool like sword things she's got. Are we going to see Ventress then? She was there.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe we'll get like a little shot in the background, like a little Easter egg. Oh, that was her. But
she was 100% there and like a big part of that scene.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like a big arc for her.
Yes, and I mean she was. I think when they come out, I think she like challenges Grievous right off the bat, and they start fighting.
Now, it looks like she's saved by like another faction of witches or something.
Who?
Morgan.
Oh, Elsbeth.
Yeah, because when she's watching like Dathomir, where it's burning, where they're over that cliff looking, it looks like, because it kind of goes back and forth, so you can't tell whether it's Dathomir or I forget the other planet where she shows up in Ahsoka.
Something with a C, I think. I can't remember the name of
it. That forest's on fire, and you see that she's responsible for that. Like at the beginning where Ahsoka's running from all the ashen trees, you know? That's like, you get to see how that happens, because she fucking just takes the place over. But
torches it.
Yeah, I think there's like another faction of witches or something that live in the mountains.
Yeah, there was a name that was thrown out in the when if you had the captions on. And I can't remember the name of it was, for somebody who was talking to her.
Yeah.
There must be some other group or some offshoot group. Then you also, this is for Brian Hour's sake. Does this mean we're going to see Marin? Marin is a Night Sister from Jedi Survivor or Fallen Order and all that.
Was she there?
I think she was really young then.
Okay.
But she would have been there. So I bet you they show her as a youngster. And then we see her, like you said, at her place on that planet that Ahsoka finds her,
right?
In The Mandalorian, and she's got that Beskar spear. And one of the people that she's talking to in that scene is the guy who we later see in that Mandalorian episode who replaces her when she gets kind of overthrown by Din.
Yeah,
in Ahsoka. Regardless, you're going to get some great backstory on what her motivation is. Mm-hmm. Clearly, it appears to be a revenge tour that she's on, because she has
But
fucking
the sick
pissed.
part is like she hates the Separatists and blames General Grievous and I guess it wouldn't be Palpatine,
Dooku?
would it? But then she's basically working for him now in a different way. So she's working for her enemy. She just doesn't realize that that Palpatine was actually behind it all.
Right. There's a lot of gray area there with
Yeah.
the Separatists and the Empire, the Old Republic. I think it confused a lot of people. I think, in fact, it was Rose tweeting out about it. He's like, wait, why is she working for the Empire if she's mad at the Empire? It's like, because she was mad at the Separatists, not the Empire. She doesn't realize that it's all in cahoots. But yeah, a lot of backstory, a lot of filling in gaps for stuff that helps you, I think, in the end, appreciate what we saw in Ahsoka and what we might see going forward in Ahsoka even more. So pretty fucking sweet. And quite a lot of parallels with the other story, with the Barriss Offee story. You know, when we last saw her, she was in a jail cell because she tried to set up Ahsoka for bombing the Jedi Temple because she was like, you know, these guys are like supporting the dark side. Little did we know, or little did they know at the time, she wasn't totally wrong.
Right. Gray area again.
Yes. But, and we also wondered if we might see her in Ahsoka because of the ties that her and Ahsoka had. Maybe we'll see her in season 2 or in the movie.
There's no reason to do this unless there's more opportunity, right? This is like, let's remind you guys all of this. And for the people who haven't watched all those old episodes, and I think there's a lot that are watching the new series, and the fact that you're seeing like so many characters from like the Mandalorian verse, right? Tying back to all of these.
Yeah.
Like I think there's no reason they're doing this other than to introduce her.
You're right. This touches on a lot of stuff from the prequel era and from the original trilogy and from the Mandoverse.
Yeah.
So it's crossing all those areas. Yeah. So you see her like sitting in a cell and kind of being coerced by the Fourth Sister. And it's funny because everybody's like, you know, we didn't get much on the Fourth Sister. She barely talked, you know, in Kenobi. But we're going to get a lot of backstory on her now. And then we see Barriss being trained by the Grand Inquisitor, who, like I was saying earlier, big fan of that character. Pretty sweet to see him.
Do you find it interesting, like, his first thing is when he takes her in that room and offers her, like, basically it looks like they're slain Jedi lightsabers, and she picks the green one?
Well, she picks the green one, which could be the same as her master, Luminara.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I mean, if they're on... Because they show that ship that looks like one of those Inquisitor ships. It looks like it's going toward where the Inquisitorium Emporium is.
Yeah, yep.
And... So I think a lot of this takes place there. Mm-hmm. And so that room, remember when they were on it in Kenobi, there was that room that had a bunch of sabers littered around it. I don't know if you remember that in Kenobi. So yeah, I think it's very much the same thing. It's all these slain Jedi.
You think we're going to see the Jurassic Park room?
Which was the Jurassic Park room?
The room with all the Jedis in amber?
Oh shit, right. I forgot about that. You know, for the fact that they showed that, it seems like that's a weird throwaway. We have to see something on that again.
Correct. Like, it would be weird if it was a throwaway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things, like, we'll throw that in there and someone else can pick up the seeds on this, but there's too much there to leave alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just had a stupid thing in my head. I was thinking about your Jurassic Park reference, and I'm thinking, like, does somebody have a cane? Like some dark side guy have a cane, but it's not like a mosquito or whatever. It's like, you know, the balls of some Jedi. It's like
Well, didn't
like Plo Koon's
there
balls.
was the old lady in the not Tales of the Jedi, Visions, that had the cane that turned into a lightsaber in one of the episodes.
Right.
Yeah. but it's like it's an amber, but they're dangling like
right. Yeah,
like a
dangling.
truck, the
they hang
trailer
down.
hitch of a truck. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Big old amber nuts
they
just
move.
swinging as you Favloni, we're still available.
Yep, still there. Later, we see her in some sort of arena, I'm guessing on the Emporium, where the Grand Inquisitor just throws a saber down as like two people enter, one leaves.
Did you notice it looks like a donut? Like there looks like there's a hole in the center.
Oh,
so
it kind of does.
They fight and shove. Whoever falls into the sinkhole dies or gets stabbed first.
That would be tough.
Yeah.
Stay away from the middle. And then we see the Grand Inquisitor says something like, you know, you're going to meet your new master. And of course, fucking Darth walks in. We all get hard. Yep. And in a line, you've got all these Inquisitors. And that's where you've got the Fourth Sister. You got Marek. You've got the Inquisitor from, what do we call him? The first brother from Tales of the Jedi. And Barriss all bowing down to Vader. I mean, just what a... just Sat there and watched it and had to immediately watch it again. I was like, what the fuck did I just watch? Holy shit.
I'm wondering why, other than for like animation purposes, like why throw in a bunch of people, right? But there's more around at this time. Because because the video game, Cal Kestis, right? Doesn't he kill one, that big beefy?
He kills, yes, spoiler, but in the second one, the big, huge sister, I can't remember what her name is.
The ninth sister or
maybe
something like that.
Second sister, one of those sisters.
So that one's alive. We haven't seen that one in animation or live action or anything, just the video game.
That's a tough one to do in live action. That is a beast of a character.
There was the 3 on the pyramid that fought. Who was the one that helicoptered away? The Sarah Michelle Gellar, the one that she voiced, was she the second sister? She was
the 7th sister, wasn't she?
Seventh sister.
Yes, which a lot of people are speculating maybe that is Barriss. That Barriss becomes her. I don't know about that.
Because of the tattoos, same race, right?
Is it? Was she? I guess she was. Yeah, you're right. She was. And then who was the dude who walked around with her was the guy we saw in Kenobi.
Yes.
With the hat, with the tri-corner hat.
Was he the 5th?
I think so. I lose track of all of them.
So there's
too many kids.
God.
It's like the fucking Brady Bunch.
That's why they weren't there. Vader's like, look, I got room in my brain for 4 names.
Oh man. Anyway, any other thoughts on that? I'm excited for it. It's all dropping on May the 4th. It'll be cool to cover that stuff and to watch it. But yeah, like you said, I think we're gonna get done with it and go, would like to see a little bit more, but at least we get that.
Well, I'm hoping that there's some type of Easter egg that alludes, at least for the Morgan Elsbeth stuff, how they come back to life, right? What's the green fart mist for? Like, there's gonna be a little something with that. Even if it's like, oh, okay, so that'll be another tease for when we go back to Asajj Ventress, right? But also, is Morgan dead?
Right.
Because I don't think so. At this point, it seems like, they just keep popping back.
They do come back. Nobody's ever truly gone, as someone said. But I don't know. She looked pretty dead. But we'll see. We'll find out. I don't know. I'm excited though. It was whenever you get the out of the blue, didn't see it coming, here you go kind of content like that. Yeah. It's like, oh boy. Now, way to keep that under wraps.
There's the fight that you see. Looks like an Inquisitor and a Jedi fighting, and it looks like Barriss is running toward them. Right.
I think that's the 4th sister.
Who's the Jedi?
Don't know who the Jedi is.
And do you think it's going to end with Barriss becoming an Inquisitor?
Because she kills that Jedi?
Right. Or does she realize no, and she saves the Jedi?
It's open-ended. Mm-hmm. So like I said, there is the theory she becomes the 7th sister. I don't necessarily agree with that.
And where's Reva?
That's another good question, because she's got to show up at some point. She's young, and what do they call her? Like a street rat or something like that?
Yeah,
she could certainly come in way later.
Right.
Yeah. Because, at this time,
this is Clone Wars.
We don't know the exact time, but it would still be like just past Clone Wars, I guess, ish. Mm-hmm. So she would be, she's little. It's about the time where she's in the temple and watches everybody get slammed down in front of her.
Yeah.
So, she might be too young. All right. Well, that's it. Everybody let us know what you think of Tales of the Empire. Excuse me. Let's move on to Bad Batch. This week, for all you fans of child abuse and torture, you're in luck.
Yeah.
I mean, some of these scenes in these 2 episodes were brutal, particularly the first episode, especially as a parent. Mm-hmm. You're just like, oh, God. I
watched the first one with my son. I was watching it again today.
Why are you crying, Dad?
He walked in and he's watching it and he was just like, what's going on with these? Like, he's got a lot of questions.
I'll never let them take you, son.
Yeah.
I mean, unless this is the Jedi Order.
Unless you don't do your chores.
I tweeted out this, and I mentioned at the top of the show, but they are just on a fucking hot streak right now with the animation. I mean, as much as I'm loving a lot of the live action stuff they're doing, holy shit, the animation is just on fire.
Yes.
It's just amazing. These 2 episodes were incredible.
These are like, I think, my favorite 2 episodes of the season.
Yeah, they were really great. And to get them back to back was awesome.
Right.
So, I mean, just think about how far we've come. Going back to the Clone Wars film and the first 2 seasons or so of Clone Wars where it was a bit rough.
They've upped their game.
Yeah. Well, that series grew into itself over time. Mm-hmm. And then, Rebels was great. Obviously, we didn't particularly care for Resistance. Bad Batch has been great. Tales of the Jedi has been great. I mean, it's just they've not a lot of misses in the animation world. And I think it's enhanced by the fact that, one, I think it's, under the tutelage of Filoni, he's just like making it all work really well together.
Yep.
I think the creators of this show did a really good job, the showrunners. And then also, I mean, I know we say it and we bang the drum for them a lot, but the Kiner crew is just
music in these 2 episodes are great.
Dominate. Yes.
Yeah.
So Identity Crisis. We open on some random world. I don't think they told us. Did they tell us?
No.
Okay. Where a mama kitty and her kitten are shopping, totally normal.
I mean, it was almost like when it opens up, what's that cartoon with those rabbits?
The rabbits?
And the mom, it's like on Sprout. It was like Peppa Pig.
Oh, God, I think I remember what you mean.
It was like the dumb wobbly dad and the mom and their 2 dumb kids.
And the 2 dumb kids. I think I remember what you're talking about. I try to block that shit out because at the time you're just like, I can't watch this shit anymore.
I know.
Please stop. Like, can we move on to Star Wars now?
That's why PTSD when this scene opened up. I was like, oh no, not again.
That's why I think I introduced my kids to Star Wars so young, because I'm like, let's move on. So I looked it up. This creature, this species is called Tarlafar.
Oh, okay. Tarlafars.
Yeah, Tarlafar. And I forget the mom's name, but the son's name is Bairn. That's the little kitten. And he's freaking out.
It's cutin'.
Cutin'.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
He's freaking out because he can't reach his goddamn doll. And the next thing you know, a vase goes flying by, and they're all like, whoa, did you see that kid do that? So clearly the kid's showing some force powers.
And no one believes it. They think it's no. What's he say? He goes, that kid is, one of them says he's like, what, insane or something? The other one goes, gifted.
Yes, right. They said there's something weird about that kid. He's like, he's gifted, Mm-hmm. Clearly showing that everybody in the wake of what happened with the Jedi Order and the way that was broadcast across the galaxy, people don't want to touch Jedi. They're like, holy shit, those dudes, I don't want to go near them. They, if I'm led to believe all the propaganda,
right?
They were the ones that, turned on everybody, and I don't want to be involved.
And this walrus guy is clearly like a distant relative of Binks's boyfriend that makes the call.
Shithead Tim?
Yeah, Shithead Tim. I knew you'd remember his name.
Well, those goddamn Aqualish, man. It's like, I don't like you. It's like that guy.
Yep.
And I don't mean his buddy. I mean the actual Aqualish. But he turns him in. He calls up, somebody says, I need a level 1 bounty hunter. I like how everybody knows this whole level 1 bounty hunter thing.
Right. Well, just the creepy bastards. There must be like something in the paper they read.
Wanted ad. So he says, there's this kid, you got to check him out. Later that night, Mama Kitty's hanging out with Bairn, and they're playing and having fun. And then you hear the familiar spurs of Mr. Cad Bane. Now,
right.
I get that they like the menacing audio that you get from like the slow approaching spurs.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think a man in his line of work trying to sneak up and get targets, that wouldn't be so advantageous to have the spurs all the time.
I don't know. He's fucking cocky though. he wants you to know he's coming.
It adds to the mystique.
Yeah.
It gives you ample time to shit your bricks before or shit bricks before he shows up.
Why not go up to the door and lock it instead of just stand there with the fire log shovel?
I don't know. Didn't have time.
Okay.
Why wouldn't you have the door locked anyway? This is a fucking creepy world.
I know. You got your baby in there that's got special powers.
Yeah. They're going to come for him.
You know what? She deserved to have her kid kidnapped. She was a terrible mom.
Oh, God. That's harsh. You're like, you know what? You're lucky you only got stunned. Imagine her headache. She wakes up and she's like, holy shit, what happened? My baby.
Yeah.
So Bane stuns the mom, as we said. Seth Green, a.k.a. Toto, shows up, does a blood test. Apparently, they've got one of these fucking blood tests.
They got just a handheld one.
Just go on Amazon, Asajj.
Right.
They're very cheap. They have it tomorrow.
She just doesn't want to spend the money.
No.
She's like, you know what? Put a piece of fruit on your head and stand in one leg.
Old school.
Yeah. You're not worth my $30.
I don't have Prime. It would have cost shipping. They confirm the M count, and Toto puts the kid in the cat carrier and closes the lid.
No, it's the
Say it.
The FMDC.
Yeah, spell that out.
The floating mobile defense crib. I was like, oh, they got one. They brought it back.
I couldn't remember the name of it.
Probably my happiest moment in the show.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, it gets pretty bad from there. Back on Tantus, Hargrove, your guy, he's working that necromancer project, and Emery Carr walks in, and he's like, so since now Say's not doing anything, how about little promotion?
Who's he staring at in this machine? He's being real cryptic about this fuckwad in the machine.
Would it not be kind of the next generation of
That's what it kind of looks like,
CX
because
trooper?
he's looking at his iPad, right? And he's got some diagnostics up. But later on, when he's sitting in his office, it looks like he slides from like CX1 version to something else. Like the helmet looks different and the armor's a little, right?
So I think the second slide is what's baking in the chamber. And the first one is what is out there running around stealing, killing people.
Right.
But it makes you think too about how when Palps was there at the beginning of the season, isn't that what he was showing him? Was what was inside there? So was he just showing him the next CX trooper? Is that really what he was showing him?
Well, did he show that one, or I remember they went into they went into like the red room.
Oh, that's true. It was a different room.
The incubating clones that are like his versions. But
that's a good point. I think you're right. Emery wants a promotion. She wants to be chief scientist, and I love how Hemlock's just like, all right,
yep,
interview over. You got the job. So he's like immediately like, well, I got to bring you up to speed then. Okay. Mm-hmm. So he takes her down to the vault where she sees the specimens.
This fucker doesn't sugarcoat anything, does he?
No, he just gets
just like, you got to see this.
Yeah. And not to mention later, he's like, hey, don't talk to the specimens. They're nothing more than lab rats. Is basically what he says.
Yeah.
So it's all these kids with high M counts. They're doing tests on them. They're monitoring them. They're fucking making them play like 3D Tetris or something.
Jenga or something. Yeah.
And I love how Emery's like, so why children? And he's like, well, there's not a lot of adults left because they were murdered.
Right. Yeah.
And besides, these dumb kids don't know their powers, so they don't even know why they're here. They think they're going home.
Yep.
Dummies.
They are not.
And then he also explains the importance of getting Omega back.
Right.
Where, she's basically the only clone that's shown that her blood can like retain or bind to that M count and keep it from a donor's blood. So a little bit of
this is also where we learn like the vault is different than because we had a conversation a couple weeks ago whether it was Palp's blood they were using or not. Mm-hmm. So now we're just like right now they're just trying to do Jedi, right? They're just trying to bring in remanufacture their own and then teach them like dark side. I'm guessing, right?
Right.
It was this stage one before they make the Palps.
I guess so. It's funny too because there was somebody who said on Twitter they're like. I think it was when they said the Tales of the Jedi trailer and the shot where Barriss gets dropped from the ceiling and like spits out some blood or some blood drops. I'm like, guys, is this the first time we've seen blood in animation? And then immediately goes, holy shit, I'm so sorry. Literally the whole season of Bad Batch has been people getting their blood taken and blood everywhere. It's like I feel like a real dope. That was funny. So later on, Emery's trying to keep things professional with the specimens because she was told to. And that's when Eva, cute, adorable little Eva, asked her what happened to Nala Se. And she's like, because she was going to find out when I get to go home. Oh, just heart-wrenching. They're lying to the kids, Jay.
I find it interesting that, I ask her if I can go home and she's going to find out and she never comes back.
Yeah, to put two and two together there.
She's on vacation, right? She's coming back?
Sabbatical.
Right.
It's an extended vacation. So then Emery goes to talk to Jax, who is, I don't remember the number, SP-54
I got it written down here. He's SP-32.
SP-32.
Yep.
He has been clearly like keeping they show him earlier, like checking out, watching how.
Yeah, he's a crafty son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's just trying to plot his escape.
I'm getting the code. Yep.
He knows he's fucked.
Right.
Like he's the only one I think who really knows it.
Yeah.
So he snags her iPad and, runs over, tries to escape, fails miserably. I mean, they shut that thing down in 2 seconds.
I mean, this is like the whole setup is like Andor, right?
Yeah.
You got the guards up top watching out glass windows on them. So the second this kid breaks wind, he's like, I'm out of here. Fucking hit the red light.
And it's the red light just like when the floor's hot or whatever. So.
Yeah, you do not want to say it's the red light district when there's kids involved, man.
No, you really don't. You really don't. There's a lot of bad things happening to children here.
Right. Commander
Scorch shows up, and Emery's like, hey, we're fine. And the kid tries to bolt. Boom. Drops him. Stuns him. And he's like, dude, I'm just doing my job. All right?
Yeah, I would say procedure says.
Yeah, protocol.
Someone tries to escape, they get a stun.
Yeah. But you can tell that as this episode goes by, more and more Emery is just like, gah, I don't like what's going on here at all. By the way, I don't know if you caught this, and I can't put my finger on what it was, but there was during the transition of when Jax gets stunned to like the next scene where they're like checking him out to make sure he's okay and stuff and he's still knocked out, there's music that plays that almost sounds like original trilogy Empire-esque. Go back and listen to it.
Okay.
I couldn't quite put my finger on it,
Okay.
It was almost like an original trilogy transitional empire, blah, 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 like the fucking horns thing.
Okay.
So check that out. I'm not sure exactly what's going on there, but the Kinders, they fuck around with you like that. They're, Jack's getting checked on. He's fine. But then, Emery goes and talks to Eva. And she's like, what's wrong, Eva? She's like, you fucking lied. Because he ends up getting taken away and gets put in solitary.
For 2 days, 2 rotations.
Yeah. Fuck. Mean. So then she decides to go visit Nalase. And it wants to have a very slow but quick chat.
I thought you got to be loving this right now.
God damn it. Just spit it out.
Oh. Her race is like the sloth.
Yeah.
Of the whatever.
It's like, that movie where the sloth all work at the DMV.
Yeah. Yeah. Zootopia.
Yeah, Zootopia. There you go.
That's what it is.
So she's asking Nalase about the project, and she's clearly showing she's, having these second thoughts. And she says, they're children like I was.
Yeah. Was your plan to discard them too?
Oh.
So does she feel like she was discarded?
I think she's saying because she was a clone made on Camino by Nalase and her crew, and then was just passed off to Hargrove to do work for him as a little intern.
Right.
So just kind of discarded in that fashion, I think. So she's bitter. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
And Nalase is basically like, hey, it wasn't my call.
Well, what's your take on this? Because, she goes, well, what will you do? And Dr. Carr's like, there's nothing I can do. I don't have that kind of power. And she says, don't you?
Right.
And I'm like, so is she talking secret power? Is she talking the power to actually do something within
I think
the
it's the
environment?
power to, I was thinking it was the power to do something, not some secret power. That's a good point, though. I didn't think of it that way. I was thinking of it more like when you're on the inside and you're in your role, as I was before you can fucking manipulate some things and make some things happen. Like, you're not as powerless as you think you are.
Right. As long as Hargrove's not over there fucking paying attention.
Right, but I mean, his attitude is so funny because if he's pressed on anything, he's just like, fucking fine. Like when she wants to go
see if I care.
Kinda. I think he's so worried about like his bosses and shit that he's like, whatever.
He handled Tarkin like
he did, but he's fucking
it was almost
sweating.
like he doesn't know who he's talking to yet.
Is it that, or do you think he's just trying to put a little like a facade up, but he's really shitting his pants?
I don't know.
Okay.
This guy, he might just be a little too ignorant to realize. Like I think he thinks he's top dog, right? Because he's got fucking Emperor #1 on speed dial.
Yep.
And he can tell Tarkin, you don't need to know. You're on a need to know basis. Right now, you don't need to know.
That was a pretty fucking boss move. And he's like, oh, it's classified. Tarkin's like, fuck you.
But
you can just tell me.
You can hear in Tarkin's voice that he's already like, all right, I got the Death Star. How do I take this one over?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He wants to own it all.
Yeah.
He wants to eat up all the projects.
Yeah. Where's this money going to? Are you sure I can't assist you in any way?
Yeah. Well, because at the end of the day, he's responsible. He's the budget manager.
He's you.
Yeah.
Fucking all these spreadsheets.
Look, I'm looking through my numbers here, and we keep diverting a lot of funds to your fucking facility. What is going on over there?
I didn't know what's going on there. No, you don't. Okay. Good talk.
Yeah, because he had got called by Tarkin, calls him back, and it's just this exchange was so fun. Just like watching those two go back and forth. Clearly, you can see that this is Hemlock is going to get killed at some point. It's just he is fucked.
Yeah, he's gonna put his foot in his mouth here.
He'll be lucky to get the Rampart treatment. I think he's gonna die, not versus just getting put him in charge of a tower somewhere in the Outer Rim. But and I had a note here, but we already talked about it as far as like what are we supposed to glean from what he was looking at on that display, and I think you're right. It's two different models of the CX Trooper. He contacts CX2, I guess we're calling him, and informs Hemlock that he tracked down the Trandoshan and pulled some intel out of her. Oh God, I hope it was through her anus. I mean, fuck you, Sid.
Man, there should have been like the shot should have panned, like in the background. She's just fucking hanging by her feet and just like throat slit.
Blood dripping on the floor. Yeah. I would have loved it. So she gave up Fee's name, Sid. Mm-hmm. I'm sure she gave it up pretty quickly because she's fine to do that. I mean, he's acting like he had to pull it out of her, like he had tortured her. I think he probably just threw some credits on the floor, and she was like, in.
You think he went like full spy espionage and like he's like, I'm gonna have to sleep with her in order to get information out of her.
Oh God, I hope not.
He's like, I know once I'm at the pillow talk, she'll just give me everything.
Why don't you take off the mask? No thanks. No kissing. Too personal. Yeah, as I mentioned, this is where I was talking about kind of the whole thing with Hemlock and how he's just kind of like, fine, do whatever. Emery Carr's like, I would like to go along this mission to get this new specimen.
Yeah.
You know, I think I need
new
to be
acquisition.
In charge. Yeah. And he's just like, okay, fine, do what you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know? She shows up. She's surprised at how young he is, Baron, the kitty. But she retests him because she's got one of those things too, because everybody does. Confirms the M count. And then she asks Bane where the kid came from. And he says something interesting. He says, asking questions like that, you give away more than you think.
Yeah.
I thought that was a cool line.
It's fucking brilliant.
And she also asked him, like, how many of these kids have you gathered up? He's like, let's just say I'm pretty good at my job. So he's done this many, many times, as we saw.
Pretty good at my job.
So she escorts the kid back to Tantus where they, check him into his room.
And he's just sleeping like a little cuddle bug.
Oh, he is so wiped out.
Yeah. And they didn't take his toy from him.
Yeah, they let him keep it.
I know.
So what the hell? Double standard.
Wait till Hargrove comes over there. He's going to be like, what did I say about these toys?
No personal items.
Yep.
Only the toys that you play with in the main room. Emery checks in on Eva, and that's when she's mad. That's when she tells him, she says the thing about, Jack's got in trouble. You lied to me, blah, blah. And she said, he just wanted to go home. We all just want to go home. Oh,
that's sad.
So sad. Yeah. It just reminds you so brutal that like these force sensitive kids are taken away from their homes and forced to live somewhere far away where they're monitored and tested. And
I know,
and it's something the Jedi Order would never. Oh,
well, at least they ask. Like,
do
this kid's got abilities.
Do they
kids come. I don't see him like just taking the kid.
I mean, they take him pretty young. I don't know. I think we're meant to see that parallel for sure.
Yeah.
It finishes with her, Emery, looking at her data for each of the specimens and ends on Omega. And I guess it sort of looks like there's little bars there. It looks like her bars are higher.
Yeah, she's got higher, all of her bars.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's stacked.
She's stacked.
Yep.
And in a fun twist, turns out Emery kept the straw doll that Omega made while she was there, and she leaves it in Eva's cell as a little gift because she has a heart.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. That was the end of that episode. Point of no return. This is the episode where everything just really goes tits up and everything. We just end and everyone's in a bad, bad place. So we open on an unknown moon-like location where Fee's, getting refilled. Refilled. Jesus Christ. Refueled.
I didn't see that part.
Tech wasn't there. She's getting refueled. And she's tailed by CX2, who sneaks aboard the ship and steals the coordinates for Pabu before slipping out.
I love he's basically just downloading her TomTom.
Very true.
Her old school fucking navigation thing. He's like, oh, let me just grab all the addresses. We'll figure this out on this.
I got your file of facts here.
Yeah.
I got her whole Rolodex. So he gets all that information. She senses him there. She's like, something's wrong. But she doesn't see him. And then he contacts Scorch and is like, here's the coordinates. You guys are on standby. I'm going to go find, see if I can find Omega.
Right.
So then on Pabu, the batch is loading up the Marauder as they prepare to get out of there and lay low. We see Shep, the mayor of Pabu. He's walking around the town square. He's meeting and greeting his constituents. Big dick flopping in the wind. His approval ratings through the roof.
Remember
the next
to
election
vote Shep.
is shooing. Exactly. He's going to slaughter in the next election. No problem. Another term coming for Big Shep. And we also see our clone cadet homies. And they got some new threads. They're fucking eating snow cones. Yeah. Everything's great.
I fucking love how Wrecker turns into Gary Busey. Utah, give me 2. Well, that's 2 ice cream cones. First thing I thought of when I saw that.
Omega and Liana, Shep's daughter, are talking about the batch's departure. And Omega pulls out a couple items from her pack to leave there. And one of them is her doll, and god damn it, it's Tech's broken goggles again. She's like, well, this was like the first place he really felt like was home. Mm-hmm. So we're going to leave the goggles here. I mean, they just keep
the goggles and the doll.
Yeah. They just keep trying to make us feel bad. And that's why the more this stuff happens, the less I think Tech is alive, but we'll get into that at the end. CX2 arrives, lands in the same goddamn cave as Asajj. That's the spot?
Yeah. As I'm referring to it now as the birthing canal. Because you think about it, I was thinking about this afterwards. She dies or they take her to a cave and bury her, right? Yeah. And then the next time we see her, she comes out of a cave.
Yes.
Yeah. Thematically, it works.
It works the whole way.
Yep.
Yeah. I just thought it was so funny. It's the same goddamn location. Like that's the spot because
Yeah.
he's looking when he's flying in. He's looking at these little locations. And he's like, I'm gonna pick that
I'm
one.
gonna take that
one
garage
was
right
on the
there.
map. That's the secret garage on the map.
Yep.
Fuck. So he sneaks up to the town square, spots the batch, tells Scorch, and he's like, okay, we'll send in the troops. Just don't let him escape. So meanwhile, Hunter's like, something's wrong.
Yeah, the birds start flapping.
Yeah. And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm not sure what's going on here, but something's up. So we need to fucking escalate our departure.
Yeah, we're out of here.
Yeah. And CX2 then sets up his rifle and fucking destroys the Marauder.
Oh,
Now, a lot of people were worried about this happening. They thought it was going to go the way of the Razor Crest. And sure enough,
it sure did.
oh man, just destroyed.
I love how Wrecker's like, he grabs the Gronk. He's like, ah!
Yeah, saves Gronk.
Yeah.
Or saves Gronk. Saves Gonk. See,
Gonk,
I corrected
Gonk.
myself, Max. So he saves Gonk, who he was just bitching with just like 2 seconds
Yep.
ago. He's like, well, maybe I'll leave you here. I
That's
love
his
how he
boy.
goes, maybe I'll leave you here. And Gonk's like, Gonk, 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 Gonk.
No, you ain't.
Literally says Gonk. Is it, what do you want to call that thing? I don't know. He says Gonk all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Wrecker gets knocked out, but survives.
That boy and his head injuries, man. He needs
man.
to be examined.
CTE up the
Yeah.
wazoo.
He's going to be eating nothing but applesauce and drool pretty soon.
If he survives.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's on the ground. They're looking at him, and they're all kind of freaking out. And then all of a sudden, everybody looks over their shoulder. What a shot! That fucking Imperial
Yeah.
ship coming in, and all the what do you call it? The what is it called? Gunships come flying out of it. Very scary. Almost kind of a little reminiscent of like a Force Awakens type move, where all those ships come flying into that village, and everybody starts freaking the fuck out.
Yep.
So they set down. The full invasion begins. They're destroying all the ships and boats, so nobody can escape, and they're starting to round people. It's basically like the sacking of Troy. Like, where's Orlando Bloom when you need him? Crosshair and Omega make it to Shep's place, where Wrecker's unconscious still, and they say, but he'll make it. He's stable. And Omega keeps watching as the town is just being ripped apart. She's feeling very responsible for everybody's poor fortunes at the moment.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be putting up an Omega statue anytime soon.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Because they all kind of watch her get taken later, and they're all just like, they didn't even say a word.
Good riddance.
Yeah, like, you're going to help us out by leaving. Thanks a lot. You've done nothing but ruin this place since you came here. I mean, I know you're a sweet girl and all, but trouble follows you everywhere you go.
Man.
There's a point, too, where Shep's talking to CX2, and CX2 says, until you turn over the girl, your island will burn. Fucking ruthless. So Hunter's like, I got to go get on a gunship. So I'm going to go. You guys go hang out. When he goes to steal it, he gets on board. The pilot notices he's there, and then the pilot tries to do the shake-off thing.
I can't shake him. I love how the CX2 is basically, he just got done. I mean, the writers must have had like a Keanu Reeves marathon, right? Because they go from Utah, give me 2 to shoot the hostage. That's
right.
Speed.
Right.
Just shoots the pilot, and he's like, well, we'll get a new ship.
Yeah, take it away. 2 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
I like that. But the funny thing I thought was, one of the funniest lines of the whole show was when the gunship's shaking back and forth, and Omega looks up and goes, is that Hunter? And Crosshair looks up and goes, uh-huh. I laughed out loud on that one. So yeah, cold-blooded move. CX2 shoots the pilot. Down they go. Hunter manages to get off and swims to shore. So then Omega's like, okay, this is not working. Like, we got to do something. I got to just turn myself in. And Crosshair's like, you're going to do what?
Yeah. At least Crosshair could have been, you realize the trouble I'm going to be in when my brothers are like,
much trouble.
Where is the little one?
How am I going to explain that I agreed to this?
Yeah. He's like, you're going to have to shoot me in the leg.
Well, when it comes to arguing and posturing and all that kind of stuff between those two, Omega just has him dominated.
Yeah.
He kind of like just goes, okay, to her eventually.
It's almost like she's like almost just short of waving her hand and changing his mind.
You will agree to this plan.
Right.
Yeah. Because he's doing the right thing. He's like, this is not a good plan. These are all the things that can go wrong.
Right.
You're saying you're going to take your comms, they'll search you. That's not going to work. Like, he's like, you're just going to end up back at Tantus, and then we don't know where you are and how we're going to get you out. It's like, what's the point of this? So he's bringing up good points, but she's just like, we just don't have another choice. And she said, okay, well, you can also shoot a tracker onto the ship, so we'll have like a backup plan to find me. So she ends up surrendering. They scan her for tracking devices. And now, she gives up her comms. Is this the old, here's my gun in my waist, but really you didn't check
I've got
my
another
sock?
one.
Yeah.
Well, when she took the hat off at the end, I thought, oh, she's got one under her hat or something.
That could have been.
yeah.
I feel like there's another tracking device in there. You always have more than one, because then you give up the one and go, there you go.
Right.
But you got the other one.
I wonder if she's got Tech's broken glasses, and those have something in them.
She left the glasses. You
But
think she took them?
wasn't it in that place they were at? Wasn't that his place, or was that a different room?
What do you mean? Was it his place?
They were in what's
They were in
his face?
Shep's place, the mayor's place.
Yeah, wasn't that part of it with the display rack or whatever?
Well, she was leaving it there. Are you saying that she's then going to take those with her as another tracking device?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I think she left them there. I think there's something else she's got on her, but maybe you're right. I don't know. Hunter swims ashore and finds Batcher and seemingly heads back for the top of Pabu, or does he? Maybe he goes somewhere else.
Oh, maybe he ran in the cave
and found that the fucking ramp was down and just walked up in there. So that's a theory I've heard.
I like that, because then they get to Tantus, right? They're not going to check the ship. He comes sneaking out a little bit later, finds the comms or something like that, reaches out, says, "Hey, I'm here. Get everybody."
I think the fact that you don't see him after he comes ashore and it looks like he's right by the cave is a little telling.
Yep. And Batcher's probably like, "Hey, psst, over here."
Yeah.
I just took a piss on this shiny thing earlier.
Remember that scary woman from the other day?
Yeah.
It's another ship. So Omega's loaded aboard the ship, CX2 ship, and Crosshair gets attacked by troopers as he's supposed to be shooting this tracker on the back of the ship, so it prevents him from getting it off. And I mean, when he fires the tracker, I half expected it to go bum 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 bum. I mean, it was the full Price is Right sad horns. It was like it just fucking droops off. Just goes.
He went full Finkel and Einhorn, man. He just couldn't get the field goal.
Oh my God. So the ship flies away, and Omega, starts like calming her breathing and maybe doing some meditation, or is she reaching out in the Force? We don't know what's going on there. Like let's because it's the end of the episode. What's your theory there? Is she reaching out with the Force, or is she just calming herself and kind of trying to figure out what she's going to do?
I think that's one and the same, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what she was doing, whether she realizes it or not. It was almost like, shit, he didn't land that.
But how would she know one way or the other?
Because she's got the Force.
Oh, so she would have sensed if the tracker went on or not. I see.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was going to say, there's no window back there. She
didn't
see it go, whoa.
It was like one of those, I'm fucked.
The other thing I think about too is if she's not, still, because there's a lot of speculation about, is she Force sensitive, or is she going to be capable of using the Force in certain ways like that? Even if she's just meditating and somehow some sort of Force, energy is radiating from her.
Yeah.
Does that mean that somebody's going to pick that up?
Right.
Whether that be whoever, Asajj, somebody else, whatever.
Fucking Luke Skywalker shows up.
Oh
again.
my God. Wait a minute. The timing doesn't work.
Shut up.
He's like 1 year old. Living with Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru in the desert.
He found the world between worlds.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So one of my things I had written down was this Hunter on the ship, and we talked about that. Because when you see the CX2 call his ship back, literally he shows the ramp down. So there's no way he's checked that ship and known. So I think there's a very good chance. If he's, like you said, if he's not on the ship, Hunter, are they going to show us the conversation where he walks back and talks to Crosshair and goes, "Where's Omega?" Crosshair goes,
they would have to, right? There's almost like, how do you ignore this conversation? Because they were still skeptical of him a little bit, right? And now all of a sudden she's gone. Like, how do they know where to find her? Like, there's a lot of fucking questions here.
I guess, but the thing is, how many times this season have we seen since they've kind of reconciled or whatever and got back together, where they're like, "We're going to go do this. You stay with Crosshair." So they trust him enough as her caretaker.
Well, maybe Hunter is with them, because we've still not seen the episode where Fee saves them on that carrier.
See, I think that's next.
Yeah.
I think so. I think that's because that's called Juggernaut.
There we go.
And I'm guessing that's where we see. I think next episode we'll see like Omega's return to Tantus.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see her have a conversation with Emery, so that'll be really interesting. But I think that's the one scene we haven't seen from the trailer is that. So we're going to see Fee come in. They're going to have to do some sort of mission, and the three of them are all involved because you can kind of see three figures,
right?
And then Fee swooping in to kind of try to help them. So that's going to be something, whatever that is. It looks like they're extracting something.
Yes.
Let's talk tech theories for a second.
All right.
Because I keep seeing people speculate a lot that
they
tech
just
is
won't
CX2.
let it go.
And I'll eat crow if I'm wrong. I'm just not seeing it. Like I said, the fact that they keep showing the busted goggles and the way he's referenced,
They're keeping him in the audience mind, yes.
They're keeping him in the mind, but I think they're doing it in a way that's like he is dead. To me, it seems like he's dead. I mean, they're basically carrying around those goggles like it's a fucking urn with his ashes.
Yeah, yeah.
So
my hope is he's actually in that containment unit, right? But like they witness it and he's not fully baked yet. And they realize his mind has been swiped. It's not him. And then they have to make the call to pull the plug.
They have to take him off life support?
Yeah, like it's not really him. It's not going to be him, right?
I see.
And that'll just ruin half of Twitter.
Well, yeah. I'll be a mess.
Can you just imagine, like, everyone watching and the fucking bay doors open? They're like, it's him! It's fucking him! And then a minute later, they fucking pull. Yeah, Wrecker's like, woo, woo, woo. He's twirling the plug. What? It's not even him!
Oh, man. Brutal. So I saw some people talking about, like, the language that the CX2 uses and the language tech uses. And I heard somebody say how, like when CX2 is on Pabu, he refers to them as domiciles.
Domiciles. I saw an image.
And Tech says the same thing. Well, hey, fucking conspiracy theorists. Go back and listen to the Tech line where he says domicile. He calls it a domicile, not a domicile.
Boom.
Boom. Roasted.
Yep.
Your idea is shot down. I'm going to eat so much crow and it ends up being Tech.
See, if there is a version of Tech, it's what's in that incubator. It's not CX2.
I think you're right. I think if he's alive, he is either in the incubator or in some fashion he is on Tantus as like a shell of a body.
Well, even if it is him, his mind's been wiped. It's not him.
Yeah. Right.
You know, and maybe he's pulling certain
we can get into a whole
whatever.
philosophical conversation about it.
He really did kind of know where to run through the city, though. You know, he was like, "Oh, stairs over here. Been here before."
Yeah, but why did he need why did he need so much help in tracking down Pabu if he's fucking been there before?
He still needed a nudge.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, it's almost like he's running on instincts if it is him, right? He doesn't know what he's doing. He's just instinctually these things are happening because, you know, there's parts of his brain that are registering. It's like he already knows how to walk.
Sure. I still think it's some form of clone of Crosshair or some sort of milkshake of all of their attributes.
I don't think it's him at all. I'm just saying, like, the argument could, if it is, like, these are the things, but.
Yeah. So I was thinking about it too. I was like, could you imagine if it is Tech? And so the next episode opens and they're still on the ship flying and CX2 turns around and takes the helmet off. And he's like, "Hello, Omega." And she goes, "Why were you trying to fucking kill all the other members of the batch just to save me?" And he's like, "Well, I didn't really like them anyway."
You have my glasses?
Yeah, where are my goggles? They're broken. Shit. I think that was kind of it. I mean, coming up, you know, I'm assuming at some point, well, it's going to happen. I don't know if it's next episode or after that, but there's going to be the rendezvous with Echo and Rex and all them. But the last 3 episodes are Into the Breach, Flash Strike, and the Cavalry has arrived. So that is the Tantus battle.
Right.
So this next episode is the last setup for that.
Yeah.
So this is kind of getting all our chess pieces in place, I think, this next episode. And then we're fucking full go for the last 3 episodes.
It's not, you don't think like they're going to rescue Sid because she has information of who, but they wouldn't know that. They wouldn't know that she met up with somebody.
They would not know that. Correct.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like who, if she's like in prison or whatever. Like he didn't kill her, but he like off with her now, right? I'm trying to think who else. Like, what's this mission for? What's this purpose? Because there's you're right. There's an episode before that goes to Mount Tantus where they have to get the information.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the link? That's I can't.
True, and I mean, from like I said in the trailer shot, it looks like it's all 3 of our remaining batch members.
Yep.
Do we know that the one is Hunter?
Well, no, because that's wrong. Because in the trailer shot, you can see unless someone else is holding her bow, it's her bow. It's Hunter and Crosshair's sniper rifle that are in that bay door as Fee is rescuing. Well, it's the shot of the Fee rescue, and then it's the other shot, and it shows them. So I guess maybe that's not the same scene.
I don't know. I thought the only like discernible one was Wrecker. So what I'm asking is one of them Hunter? Because if it's not, I mean, there's that whole theory of is Hunter on board the ship and he's actually on Tantus already.
Yeah.
Or is it Echo is the third guy now, and it's Echo, Crosshair, and Wrecker that are doing that mission? Because maybe if the tracker didn't work and they don't have any sort of way to track, and Hunter hasn't been able to contact them, they've got to find some way to make it to Tantus. So maybe that's part of the mission is their last chance to find some sort of resource that points them in the direction of Mount Tantus.
Right. And then if Hunter is on there, he's the one that can reach out. And if he's not, then they either find somebody or Omega convinces Emery.
Right.
Who's got, because Omega's not getting free run of the place again.
I don't think she's going to have her own credentials.
No, she's going in the vault.
She's going to get one of those rooms.
Yep.
She and Eva will be fast friends. Eva is surviving, by the way.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah.
They can't kill that little girl.
Well, I don't see them killing any of the kids. I think these 3 kids are, this is going to go off on whatever the next thing is, right? They're going to go into the path or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's heart-wrenching. We'll see. I'm excited.
What if we're wrong with the whole, like, there's another series coming, like the Bad Batch ends May 4th, they don't announce anything? We're like, wait, hold on, it's over? I don't think it is.
Hard stop.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for Bad Batch. Yeah, we'll get back to Juggernaut next week and see. I don't think, I'm pretty confident now with 4 episodes to go. We don't have to worry about people bitching about filler episodes from here on out.
Yeah.
And these 2 certainly weren't. They were fantastic episodes.
Yeah, they were. They're great.
Check the Maul Bag real quick. Email number 1 from Max Rebo. I hope you had a satisfactory Easter.
Thank you.
Here's my hot take. Asajj was reincarnated by the Night Sisters. The next show will be Asajj training Omega while they are chased by a new Inquisitor. At the end of that series, they will end up having to kill that Inquisitor, and they will be reincarnated by the Night Sisters as Merrick.
Oh, okay. Well, no, because Merrick already exists in Tales of the Empire.
Correct. Let's think about the timing.
I mean, it could very well jump.
Well, if it's later,
but Barriss looks a little older.
Right. I think you could say that. I think the timing could work because like when Darth Vader comes in and this is your new master and all that stuff, Barriss Offee that's not too long after Clone Wars because she's been released.
Right. This is pre-Kenobi still, I think.
Still pre-Kenobi. Yeah. And so Merrick is in play there, and then if they kill him, then they resuscitate him with the fart gas.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like somebody not in the Merrick armor, and then that's who. Okay. I had a different picture in my head.
Yeah, I think it's Merrick as an Inquisitor, and they bring Merrick back as the fart gas.
All right.
Yeah,
I got it.
That's his theory. By the way, he said something in Twitter this week about massage Ventress, and I was like, what's funny is my younger son had said that a couple weeks ago, and I kept forgetting to say it on the show. He started calling her massage Ventress. She'd probably do a good massage. She gets right into those. She knows all your pain points.
Yes, she does. Yeah.
Good theory. Okay, and lastly, we have a FACPA Answering Machine voicemail. Let's play OK Stop. Here we go.
Stop. What is this?
It's the theme song from Hyperspace Heroes.
Okay.
Hello there, guys. This is Brown Leader signing in, and I promised you another voicemail for an episode. Since about a month ago, you guys missed one of my responses, so I wanted to make sure I get that entry in.
See, I didn't realize that. It was the question of the week for the Rey movie villain.
Okay.
And we had so many responses.
Yeah.
His got lost in the shuffle, so I apologize.
Yeah, that was like 3 pages.
It was very long. So
Holy shit.
he's going to give us his answer here.
All right.
Because after all, it's all about knocking Max Rebo's chances down for winning, right, in the giveaways.
Rivalry.
So I was sitting here this morning and drinking some caf and looking at my Genevieve O'Reilly swimsuit poster and
all right.
wanted to get this.
Look, what the fuck is up with these people? Like, there's no respect. This is a woman with power. All right.
That's right. Let's not she's not a pinup.
No. And I'm angry. I want to say.
All right. Well, we got a little bit to go. I do appreciate the fact that he's back to his normal.
What's that?
He's back to his normal cadence. He's not doing the RFB this week.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It's recorded and out to you guys. And the question of the week that was missed was in regards to Rey Solo's Rey Skywalker or whatever she's called, her villain in the new Jedi Order film. And I was rather proud of this answer, so I was a little bummed when you guys missed it, but it's okay because I know secretly you guys are just wanting more voicemails. So you know I'll do them, and here we go. All right, as for the villain to Rey, Jason Solo, played by Adam Driver, And of course, it's Ben's twin brother that we didn't hear about and can retcon into the story.
So are we talking, they got to be identical twin then, if Adam Driver's playing him? Ben Solo's identical twin brother, Jason.
That was
Solo.
just never mentioned. Yeah, 3
Never
movies.
mentioned.
Never says anything about his brother. Fucking, all right, look, turn off Days of Our Lives.
You know, that show jumped the shark when what's her face like got possessed by the devil. I don't know if you remember that, but
Oh no, I never watched it.
Who was the main gal? Well, you don't remember, but there the main gal, Marilyn. Oh my god, I can't remember her name. Anyway,
Susan Lucci?
No, not Susan Lucci. That's a different show. I think I don't remember what that show was. But the main, probably the main gal from Days of Our Lives. At one point, she gets possessed by the devil, and it was like, oh my god! I mean, this is basically what Grey's Anatomy is now. It's like that show's still on the air. They're just inventing stupid storylines now because, we got to keep it going. Anyway,
was off training on Peridia with Ahsoka and corrupted by Balin and the Mortis gods. He's back in the galaxy now to destroy the new Jedi Order, so history doesn't repeat itself.
Wait, so he's
already been there.
Hold on, I need to rewind that. Hold on. Let's play that again because I think I missed something.
Retcon everything here.
Here, hold on. Here we go.
Jason Solo, played by Adam Driver.
Okay.
And of course, it's Ben's twin brother that we didn't hear about and can retcon into the story. He was off training on Peridia with Ahsoka and corrupted by Balin and the Mortis gods.
He was training with Ahsoka on Peridia. And then he says, and Balin? I'm so confused by this.
Now he's jumping the sequels, and before the sequels is the Ahsoka series. So
right. He's
not
little.
only is Han Solo apparently neglectful for one son, but Han and Leia are neglecting the other son.
Yes.
But this one is the one that turns out to be good. We never see him in Ahsoka when he stole away on the ship. Like, how do you get to Peridia? And then he's like, hey, I'm here and I'm ready to train. This is what happens when you bump your head and you talk shit about Mon Mothma. Right?
Here we go.
He's back in the galaxy now to destroy the new Jedi Order so history doesn't repeat itself, i.e. Balin's mission. Rey will get weak-kneed every fight because he looks so much like her baby's daddy.
Oh.
So there you go. There's the answer. My answer to the question of the week from a few weeks back.
I see. So he's not a fan of the sequels.
Right. I think he's shitting on the sequels.
Yeah. So yeah. I see where he's coming from now. Now I see what his plot is. Yeah.
Okay.
Weak need.
I'll just include this week's question of the week too.
Okay.
One of the more recent ones that I know I didn't respond to, which was going to see the marathon, the Skywalker Saga marathon at the theaters. And unfortunately, we are located about 2.5 to 3 hours further into BFE than even Jay is. So there are no theaters playing it around us. And
is he the one that's in North Carolina? I'm looking to see who sent that.
No. This is Hyperspace Heroes. I think they're in.
Well, it was Records of the Republic, right? Yeah, okay. I was just looking to see if that's what he was talking about because where's he at then? He just says he's 3 hours BFE, but he doesn't tell us where he's at.
They always go to a con in Tennessee, but I think they're in like Ohio or Michigan.
Okay, because they sound Midwestern. I don't hear the twang or a Southern or anything like that, so I'm trying to figure out where they're at.
It's somewhere in the Midwest. I don't think they're terribly far from you.
Not too far away at all.
Because in a minute he's going to reference Chicago, so hold on.
There you go. We're not going to get a chance to see it because I'm probably not going to drive to Chicago or wherever they might even be showing it around here in Michigan. So, all right, 2 answers for the price of 1 voicemail. There you go, boys. Keep up the great work. You guys are in my weekly rotation. Love listening to you guys. And with that, this is Brown Leader signing off, and that's no moon.
All right,
Brown Leader, I'm giving you shit. First of all, he's got a good voice, good podcasting voice, and he's in Michigan. So if he takes the pin up down and apologizes publicly, we should meet up and do a show.
Yeah, he's a Michigander.
Yeah.
I'm guessing because I forget exactly where you are. Are you kind of like in the middle?
No, I'm on the west side, southwest Michigan. Go over that way.
That's right.
Yeah, down. Yeah, about there.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Yeah. I was figuring he was somewhere by like the southern border.
If I remember right, now that we're talking, I want to say maybe like around the Detroit area.
Well, but he's saying he's in BFE. How's he in Detroit?
Oh, that's true.
I don't know. Let us know, Brown Leader. Where are you?
Oh, so he's got to be north. Well, even then, he could go to Grand Rapids or yeah. Where the fuck is he? It's not like Michigan's barren.
This guy Upper Peninsula?
Yeah. Oh, maybe he's UP.
I don't think so. I think he's down south, but like,
Okay.
I don't think he's probably that far from you.
Well, he said Michigan.
He did. We'll figure it out.
He knows where he is.
This mystery will be
We
solved.
spent too much time on him.
You guys can get together and fight over Mon.
Yeah. Oh.
Throw down. All right. Anyway, that's it.
That's it. That's the show. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.
Laugh it up, fuzzballs.
We have spoken.